My name is Sierra Bizzell, and I am a health coach, and I am an herbalist, and I am also into all things healthy. And because of what is going on with the coronavirus in children, Princess asked me if I would come in and talk to you guys about how you can keep your children healthy during this pandemic or during the last part of it or whatever's going on right now. Um, as we all know, children, as we were told before, that they weren't really dealing with any type of issues from coronavirus. Children can't get it. And now they're telling us that the opposite is true. So in children, coronavirus or COVID-19 is showing up as multisystem inflammatory syndrome. Now, what is that? Well, it's kind of a hybrid type. What this looks like, multisystem inflammatory syndrome is a mixture of symptoms that are related to Kawasaki disease and toxic shock syndrome. What does that look like? Well, in children, it looks like this. And I have notes, so if I look down, I'm only looking at my notes. But that means that you could see things like a rash, a fever, possibly red eyes in your children, inflammation in their body, so they might complain about issues with their joints or saying that their tummy is hurting or something like that. They can have blue lips and skin. They can also have trouble breathing and lethargy. And when we're talking about lethargy, this doesn't just mean, oh, my child is sleepy. That looks a little bit different. Lethargy is they're tired and they're not really waking up. Not meaning like, they won't wake up, or it's kind of like when you try to wake up a teenager and they're like, so it's them just being kind of really exhausted and unable to get up and go about their daily routine. So if you are noticing those symptoms in your children, then it could be the beginning stages of what's happening with COVID-19 in the children. Now, some of the more severe symptoms of this multisystem inflammatory syndrome include cardiac arrest, blood clots, chest pain, elevated heart rate, and organ failure. So if something like this were to continue and maybe you didn't think it was something serious at first and you just kind of let it go on and they get into the more severe stage, then this is where we have problems with children passing away or noticing that they're dealing with kidney failure and sometimes even heart failure. Now, this happens in the body because with COVID-19 and the way that it's presenting itself in children, it's almost showing up like an autoimmune disease. And if you know anything about autoimmune diseases, they kind of cause your body to attack itself. So when you have things like certain types of eczema, it can cause your immune system to overreact and cause a rash or something to happen in your skin. If you have lupus, which is, an anti, it causes your body to form all of these inflammation in different areas and begin to attack different organs and different cells in your body until it shuts things down. And what's happening in these children is that the immune system, instead of trying to attack the virus right away, it kind of has a slowed down way of attacking this thing. So it kind of waits a little bit, and then when it attacks, it goes into overdrive because it's like, oh, now we've been invaded and now we have to fight. So it sends out everything that it has, and it causes your body to react in a way in which it starts attacking the wrong things. It attacks all of the healthy cells in your body And, you know, it also attacks the bad cells, but it also starts attacking the healthy cells as well. So this is when you start having your body to cause itself to attack its kidneys. It may attack its lungs. It may attack the heart. So this is when we start to see problems. Now, what can we do about this is really what we want to talk about today. What can you do as a parent to keep your child from dealing with these problems? Or if they do have one of these problems, what can you do about it? My advice is to start with the child's diet. So what does that look like? That means that you first want to make sure that they are eating an anti-inflammatory diet. What is an anti-inflammatory diet? I'm going to tell you. This is also good. I want to put in this plug for people who have issues like autoimmune diseases, and for those who have things like arthritis and a lot of joint pain. You may even be a person that's dealing with fibromyalgia. This type of diet would be really good for you as well, because it will reduce the inflammation that is in your body. Now, what does that mean? That means that you're eating foods that are going to be good for inflammation. So these are foods like broccoli. Broccoli contains special antioxidants that are called sulforaphane. And these antioxidants fight the inflammation by reducing the cytokines that are causing the inflammation. Now, cytokines can cause your body to go into this autoimmune state. So this is why a lot of people were saying in the beginning, especially health coaches, don't use elderberry syrup. If you have some type of autoimmune disease and you start giving your body things that are going to kick your immune system into overdrive, this is where you have to worry about things like creating a cytokine storm. That means your body goes into overdrive and your immune system kind of starts attacking, just like we said before with what COVID-19 is doing. But with broccoli, it keeps these cytokines that are going to cause the inflammation to happen from being able to even get started with starting this inflammatory response. So eat broccoli. Also, you can eat berries. Berries like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, any of the berries. They're very, very good for inflammation, and they help your body to be able to boost the immune system. They keep your immune system functioning properly. And if you're dealing with something like a virus, you want your body to function in its proper state and in its proper form. So that means you want your immune system to be working and to be thriving, so that if your child gets this type of virus or whatever it presents itself to be inside of their body, that it is now able to fight properly. If you guys are asking questions, I can't see them because I am not on Facebook. It's hard for me to do that while I'm on the streaming. But I will come back and answer them in the chat later or in the thread later. But anyway, so you want to make sure that you're eating berries because they help your immune system to function properly. The next thing that you want to do is fatty fish. These are things like salmon. Now, if you don't like fish, that's cool, because I don't really love fish either. You can take fish oil, cod liver oil, just like back in the day. It's still good, and it's great for people unless they're on blood thinners. So if you're a person that's on blood thinners, or if you have a child that's on blood thinner, then you may not want to give them fish oil. But eating fish 2 to 3 times per week can help you with reducing the inflammation and making sure that your immune system is healthy, because the EPA and DHA inside of it help to reduce the inflammation that causes heart disease and kidney disease. And it also helps with reducing your likelihood of getting things like diabetes. So when we're dealing with something that can cause your body to get, heart disease or kidney disease, it would seem like taking fish oil or eating some type of salmon would be very, very good for your body. The next thing that you can do is to eat avocado. Now, avocado is not something that everybody likes, and I get it because I don't necessarily love avocado, but what I do is hide it in things. So I'll take an avocado and mash it up and make my own guacamole, which is really, really easy to make. And you can put guacamole in a bowl and eat it with some chips. You can add guacamole on some toast, make some avocado toast and season the avocado. You can eat it that way. You can also add a little slice of avocado to a smoothie, or you can put it on your burger. You can pretty much do anything that you want to with the avocado. It really doesn't have a taste, so it's up to you to kind of season it and make it taste a little bit better until you get used to dealing with avocado. You can make chocolate pudding with avocado. This is something that my kids like, and I will just add some avocado, some chocolate powder, cocoa powder, and you can use maple syrup or honey and mix it in there and put some cinnamon, maybe a little vanilla, blend it up, give them some chocolate pudding, which is avocado. It's a healthy treat. It's yummy, and it's going to help them because avocado is packed with healthy fats, which is something that their brains need. And it also has lots of potassium and magnesium in it, and that helps reduce inflammation and it keeps the heart healthy. We want the heart to be healthy during this time because if this thing presents itself in a way that causes their heart to have issues, we want their bodies to be able to fight. So if you're giving them the right foods, then they'll be able to do that. The next thing that you can do is to give them green tea. Green tea is yucky. I know. I don't love green tea either. But if you add a little bit of lemon and some honey to it, you can drink it. I just kind of trick my kids a little bit and give them tea time. We can sit down and have tea time together. You could do tea and crackers. You can, kind of mix it up, make it fun, and get them to drink the tea, and you can drink it too. Green tea is very, very good for you. It has lots of antioxidants in it. It fights cancer cells. It is, again, anti-inflammatory. So it keeps you from getting inflamed. This is what we want to do. Due to the EGCG, which reduces the cytokine production again. Next, we have turmeric. Now, turmeric and ginger are something that you want to have in your food. If you're a person that loves Jamaican food like me, you can make curry chicken, you can make curry goat, the possibilities are endless when it comes to using the turmeric. If you use curry powder, it has lots of turmeric in it already. You can add turmeric to juices. You can add ginger and turmeric together in a juice or a smoothie. You can make it into a tea and drink it. But as long as you are getting these things on a regular basis, they will help you to fight inflammation. Turmeric and ginger are like powerhouses when it comes to anything that deals with pain and inflammation. If you are consuming them on a regular basis, then it can really, really help your body. If you don't like the taste of turmeric, there are capsules. So you can take turmeric capsules and give them capsules of turmeric as well. But again, it's going to reduce that inflammation that is inside of your body, and it will really, really help their little bodies to be able to fight these things. Now, one way that I can get my children to consume turmeric and ginger is to put it in a smoothie. So get all of those healthy berries, get you some milk. I prefer drinking non-dairy things like almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, but it's totally up to you. So get you some milk, or you can do juice. I would prefer that you didn't do juice because you don't want it to be too sweet. But milk, berries, some throw in the avocado. You can add a little bit of honey or some dates, maybe 2 dates, and pour that in there. Put a little handful of spinach, blend it all up, give it to them. There you go. You dumped a little bit of ginger in there. They won't even know that they've had it, and they will drink it as long as the smoothie tastes good. So you can get them to drink it just by throwing it in their food. You can add it to soups, to stews. I know right now the weather is a little funky. Some days it's hot, some days it's cold. But if it's one of those cold days and you make a soup or a stew, or even one of those curries like I was telling you about, you can just add some ginger to that, and they can eat it. Also, you can use olive oil, which is a big part of the Mediterranean diet. It is great for keeping your heart healthy, for reducing inflammation, and giving you that healthy fat that you need to keep your body healthy and strong. So you can add olive oil to your salads. You can add it to the guacamole if you decide to make it. You can put it, on their foods if you are doing some type of baked or grilled vegetables where you put them in the oven. You can drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top of them and they can eat it. And also, you can use tomatoes. So tomatoes are high in vitamin C, potassium, and lycopene. Tart cherries are very, very good for you. They allow you to be able to fight off this inflammation again. They help with sleep, and there are all sorts of studies all over about tart cherries. So they're very, very good for you. And if you like them, eat them. If you don't want to eat them, you can drink the juice. Okay? Now, let's talk about the foods that actually cause the inflammatory responses in your body. Now, here's where I have to put in a plug as a parent. I know as parents, we want to do what we can to be able to relax. At the end of the day, you have worked, you have cleaned your house, you have had to deal with everybody, you've had to homeschool, you've done all of these things all day long. By the time you get to the end of the day, you do not want to cook a 5-course meal. I get it. But right now is not the time to be feeding your children the not so good foods. So we're talking about TV dinners, processed foods like those Totino's pizzas, hot dogs, bologna, treat meat, Spam, all of these things that are not good for them. Lunchables, all that stuff. I know it's convenient. I know that it makes things easier. SpaghettiOs, all that stuff. Not great. It's not great because it's not real food. It's processed food. And because it's processed and it doesn't really have that much nutrients in it, you're not giving them the things that they need and the tools that they need to be able to fight. Their bodies are not functioning properly. So if they're not functioning properly, then they're not going to be able to fight off infections and viruses and diseases that come into their bodies. So you want to give your children the best fighting chance at being healthy. And one way that you do that is by reducing the amount of processed foods that they have in their diets. That means not a lot of fast food. If they have to have it, maybe make it a treat that they have on the weekends. In our house, Friday is like movie night. So if we're having movie night, we might let the kids get Chick-fil-A or Pieology or something like that. That's a treat for them. They don't eat that every day because it's not the best foods for them. So if you're feeding your child McDonald's every day and then they have TV dinners every day and they're eating snacks that are processed like all of these cakes and cookies and candy, then that's what they become. You literally are what you eat. So if you're eating crap, then your immune system is crap. That's why a lot of kids are sick all the time. And it's why they have a lot of issues with childhood diabetes and things like that. You can literally change the way your children's bodies are functioning by making sure that they're getting the right nutrition, just like Princess talks about all the time. And I know she does because I've heard her say it myself. So, give them the right foods. Cut down on those processed foods. Give them healthy snacks instead of processed things. Instead of giving them a cake, give them a piece of fruit. Let them eat some apples and almond butter. Let them have some ants on a log. Give them some celery and put some nut butter in there. If they're allergic to nut butter, you can do sun butter. Or some other butter that's not made out of nuts, and put some little raisins on top. There are healthy things that they can eat instead of chips and cookies and candy. You can give them healthier foods. They can have smoothies. They can eat salsa and tortilla chips, which is not the best, but it's a lot better than giving them a cake. So you can give them that instead. Also, you want to make sure that they stay away from processed meat. Again, these things like hot dogs and hamburgers that are not made out of real meat, these are the ones that you find in the freezer sections. If you're going to feed them food, make sure that it's something that would spoil if you left it out of the refrigerator. If it came in a box or a package, it's probably not that great for their bodies, okay? So now we also want to look at the oils that you're using when you're cooking. Hydrogenated oils are bad for you. They cause inflammation in your body. What is a hydrogenated oil? This is basically a highly processed oil that you use to cook food with. Things like vegetable oil and canola oil. I know they're very popular, but they're not great. Switch to things like grapeseed oil or coconut oil. You really shouldn't heat olive oil like that. So, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, things like that are very, very good for you versus using vegetable oil, which causes so many problems. And you can look it up. There are studies and it's all over Google. It's not great. You don't want anything that's going to cause an inflammatory response in your body. Am I saying that you have to do all of this right now? No, absolutely not. But the key is to cut down on the unhealthy things and to feed them more of the healthy stuff. So, for example, if you gave your child a hot dog for lunch, make sure that you try to get the ones that don't have nitrates in them. Nitrite-free hot dogs. Give them some fruit with it instead of giving them chips. Give them some raw vegetables with it instead of giving them chips. You can make little small changes that can help them to be healthier and continue to make changes until you get them and yourself to where you want to be. It doesn't have to be something that's going to change overnight, because I know that that's hard. I know that a lot of you will say that it's expensive, but, make little small changes. I want a snack. Okay, here, have an apple. That's a healthy change. Now, let's continue with this. Now, we don't want anything like, again, junk food. So no chips. And if you have them, don't eat a lot of them. They're not good for you, and they're not nutrient-filled chips. You can make your kids fries. Buy some potatoes, cut them up, Make them that way. And you can even cook them in the oven instead of frying them. That makes them a little bit more healthy. Cakes and cookies, try to reduce those to maybe a couple times a week so that they're not getting as much sugar. Fried foods and sugar are not things that you want to be eating very often right now, especially with everything that's going on. And if you want your body to be able to fight, then you're going to have to be able to just make sure that you're eating properly, okay? So make sure that they're getting whole grains instead of white bread. Make sure that if you're going to eat rice, that you try to eat brown rice instead of the white. I know it takes longer to cook, but it's a little bit healthier than eating white rice. Because honestly, when you look at things that are processed, we have taken all of the good stuff out of them. So things like white sugar, white flour, white rice, all the nutrients have been sucked out. Foods that are healthy are colorful. If it's white, they probably took everything out of it. I'm just going to leave it there. Everything was taken out of it, and it's not the best. So opt for whole grains. Oatmeal for breakfast instead of feeding them waffles that came out of a box. You can make some old-fashioned oatmeal instead of making the quick oats. That you make the old-fashioned, it takes literally 5 minutes to cook it on the stove instead of putting it in the microwave. You can make that healthy transition. I buy a big tub of oatmeal and it costs like $2.50. That's not a lot of money. You can make, I don't even know, I can make oatmeal 5 or 6 times for my family of 5 from that one thing of oatmeal. So that's an easy transition to make. Get the old-fashioned oats instead of the quick because they're a little bit healthier. And that's how you can start making those little bitty changes. Now also, like I said, white flour. So that means if you're going to eat bread, try to eat whole grain bread, multi-grain bread. Look at the packages and see how much sugar does this have in it. What is in this? Read those labels and opt for things that are colorful. Get the brown bread. I know they're going to be like, ew, I don't want that. It's different, but it's better for you. Find one that you like. Get some honey wheat. Honey wheat is a little bit sweeter, so try to start there. Also, look at the pasta that you're getting. Try to opt for the multi-grain or the veggie pastas. You can even do zucchini noodles instead of just doing, the regular noodles. So get you some zucchini noodles. You can do carrots. We like to do spaghetti squash sometimes. You just make some spaghetti, and the spaghetti squash, you just cut it in half, put it in the oven with some oil on top of it, bake it, and scrape the little spaghetti squash noodles out and put the pasta sauce on top of it. It can be meat sauce, or you can just do, tomato sauce. That's a healthy substitution. Fried foods. Get an air fryer. Cook it in the oven. Just try to cut down on these things so that your children's bodies can be healthy and strong. And also, I want to touch soda and sugary sports drinks and juice. Now, soda is empty calories with a bunch of sugar. If your kids are drinking this is going to cause problems for them later, and you want to make sure that they're getting water. Drink water instead of drinking a bunch of soda. Soda is bad for you. It's very, very bad. So, cut down on the soda, drink more water instead. Also, sports drinks. Again, sugar. They are just plain sugar. Fruit juices. If you buy them from the store, they are straight sugar. I would suggest that if you're going to drink them, make them have a little bit per day. So 4 ounces, 8 ounces of juice a day, and that's it. The rest of the day, you drink water. I don't even buy juice in my house. Like, the only time they get juice is when they go to other people's houses, really, or if it's like a special day like movie night. But then they get those organic juices that are really mostly water anyway, so they don't even get juice. But I have a juicer, So if they get juice, it's because I took some fruit and threw it in the juicer and they had juice that way. But you don't have to be that extreme. Just if you're going to buy juice, cut down on the number of times that you let them drink the juice throughout the day. So let them have like 1 cup of juice and then be like, nope, that's it, water. Because again, sugar causes inflammation in the body. If your body is inflamed and something like this hits you, it can be lights out. And we don't want to lose any of our kids because of something that we could have done. Now, am I saying we can prevent all illness? No. But what I'm saying is your body allows you to be able to fight things differently. There have been people who have fought cancer by using their diet along with conventional medicine. Some people chose to not do any type of conventional medicine, and their bodies have been healed because when you give your body the right things, it's designed to heal itself. So if we're giving our bodies healthy foods, then we're going to be able to have a healthy response and be able to fight. Your body functions like a plant, okay? So you need sunlight and you need water to function properly. If you're not getting both of those things, then your body is not going to function properly. If you are sick and you go outside in the sun, oh, it's okay, princess. If you're sick and you go outside in the sun, then your body is going to be able to heal and get a lot of that nutrients that it needs. So now we're in the middle of spring. It's almost summer. The sun is going to feel so good. Get those babies outside. Let them play. If you don't want to go outside with them, I don't always want to go, but I try to go outside with them and take them on walks, especially in nature, because breathing in that fresh air is going to help with those lungs. So make sure that they're getting the vitamin D and the vitamin C. Get out in the sun, have them play. Next thing, these babies need to sleep. They cannot be up, till 1 o'clock in the morning and think that they're going to be able to function properly. They need to get at least, in most cases, 10 hours of sleep. Even the teenagers need like 9 or 10 hours of sleep. So it's important that they are getting the proper rest. Make sure they're going to bed on time and that they are sleeping at night. And the most important thing right now is to make sure that you're focusing on their mental health. So mental health is super duper important. We are holistic beings, meaning we can't just focus on one part of our bodies and think that all the rest of it is going to be okay. If your mind isn't healthy and your spirit isn't healthy, then your physical body is not going to be healthy. Sometimes the manifestation of the mental health being out of whack and the spiritual health being out of whack is the fact that you're having problems in your body. So we want to make sure that our babies are mentally healthy by looking at how they're doing. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them how they're feeling and how their day is going. They're under a lot of pressure right now. A lot of them have not been able to see their friends and family members for a very long time. They've been locked up. Some of them have been playing a lot of video games, and they're not getting the same type of interaction that they were getting on a daily basis. This can cause problems for them. Talk to these babies. Find out how they're doing. Ask them questions. Check on their mental health. Make sure that they are okay. Have them do things like journaling to write out their feelings. And some of them may need counseling because therapy is okay. It's okay. Let them talk to a therapist online if you're able to do that. And if they can't do that, then let them talk to you or talk to somebody if they have some type of feelings that they need to get out. But let them get those feelings out and talk to them so that they can feel okay. Check on their spiritual health. How are you doing spiritually? Some people have not been able to go to church. If you are a person that believes, in going to church, or maybe you go to mosque or whatever it is, missing that connection can be a lot for people. Let them talk about that too. Make sure that they are okay in all of those areas, because all of that matters just as much as making sure that they are physically okay. And also, they can meditate. Now, meditating is in mostly every religious text that I have seen, in mostly all the cultures, they do some form of meditation. If you don't want to meditate, they can do some deep breathing, but just have them do some kind of relaxing thing. If meditation isn't going to work for them, maybe they just need to go and have some quiet time. But they need to be able to decompress, unplug, take those devices for a little while, and let them just kind of cool out and chill, and cut off the TV. Just be. I know it's hard for a lot of us to just be, but it's important. It's very important for their minds, their bodies, and their souls. And lastly, I want to leave you with this. Some herbs that you can use for making sure that they're healthy. Now, I know a lot of people push elderberry and echinacea. Again, I'm an herbalist and I try to stay connected to these things. If a person has an autoimmune disease, or if something causes an autoimmune response in their body and they use things like echinacea and elderberry, it could possibly have a response that causes their bodies to go into overdrive, and it could cause their immune system to start attacking the wrong things. Now, with something like a Kawasaki type of disease, I honestly don't want to risk it. Am I saying that elderberry is bad? Absolutely not. During flu season, my children get a healthy dose of elderberry syrup. During this pandemic, I have not given them any. Why? Because I don't know if their bodies will respond in a certain way. I can't say that their bodies won't go into overdrive, so I don't want to risk it. And a lot of other people feel the same way. Some people don't. It's a big argument within the health community. But I just wanted to give you my thoughts on it so you can make your own decisions. If you choose to use it, great. But I just wanted you to know that it can cause your body to go into overdrive. So instead of using elderberry, I recommend people use things like lemon balm, licorice root, marshmallow root, mullein, and ginger. Again, ginger is good for so many things, but these things help with inflammation. They help boost your immune system. They help you to relax, and they can help with pretty much all of the things that we talked about. They can help you with relaxing. Lemon balm is great if you're a person that's overly anxious and you need to rest. So, maybe that's something that your child might need. Licorice root is very good for things like sore throats and things like that. Marshmallow root is good for that as well. It keeps those mucous membranes, slippery, so that you don't have to worry about having a nasty cough, or having some type of sore throat if you're dealing with that because you actually have the virus. But it can also be good because it will keep those things lubricated. And we know that with COVID, it tends to dry those things out because, as we have been told, the cough is kind of dry. So, you can use that instead. But I hope that this was helpful. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me or leave a comment below. And I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Make sure that you take care of yourselves as well. Check your own mental health, because being a parent right now is seriously crazy. And I will be praying for you all. I hope everyone is okay and doing well. It was my pleasure to talk to you all. Bye-bye.